Good morning, everyone. Pastor Chuck Blair here. Great to have you joining me this morning as we continue on with our 10 minutes of morning calm. And read a very well-known part of Noah's. It's the story of Noah and the Ark. It's a part many of us are aware of. Even if you have never read it, you are actually aware of it. Even if you're not a religious person, you would recognize this symbol that we're looking at today. So we're looking at this beautiful symbolism here, and it's symbolism of Noah sending a dove out. And as he sends the dove out, this is the second time. Yesterday we looked at the first time, sends out a dove again. And this dove goes out and comes back in bearing a leaf in its beak. And here we go. We'll go ahead and take a read of that. Sorry about that. I just forgot to look up exactly yes. And look, the torn off leaf of an olive tree in its mouth. So that's carrying a little branch of an olive tree in its mouth. Beautiful symbolism of that. And I want to say, like, we look at that as peace, that's the symbol of peace. We see it all the time. A dove with a little olive branch, or bringing an olive branch. We use that saying all the time. And what is this talking about from a spiritual sense? Well, and it's interesting, right? We see it as peace, and boy, you can see the connection here between peace and some deeper meaning within it as well. So what this is about, that we looked at yesterday, this idea that this dove goes out, this first dove, and it's that time where we try to do what's good and we're making an effort, but really it's all about us. So it returns back to us. We're doing it because we want the credit, because we want to look good. I remember years ago seeing a picture of a little cartoon in Christian Century, and it was someone who wanted to make sure they got their Instagram picture of them doing something good, and that was the whole point of doing it, was to get this Instagram picture. Obviously, we would all know that's not the highest of motivations. It's not necessarily bad. It's where we all start. And again, it's not a shaming thing. It's just knowing, yeah, that's where people start. And that's how we start to move forward. And God again is in charge of this. God is orchestrating this. We start to see charity in a different way. We start to see service in a different way. So that first phase, it's all about us. And then this second phase, we actually are able to let go a little more. And it's interesting with this olive branch, right? Here's this dove, a second dove released. It goes out, it finds this olive branch, it brings it back. It's a symbol that there is something growing out there. And I was thinking this morning about what I wanted to share, and I wanted to share a little bit about the God of surprises. So that phrase is courtesy of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. And he talked a lot about how he continually has loved to be surprised by all kinds of things. And I think surprise actually is part of the spiritual journey, where you don't learn to just look at the world and be like, wow, I didn't see that coming, or that was out of nowhere. Just how beautiful is that? Those surprises. And it's especially when we send out something good, when we try to serve in some way, and that could be within families, within communities, at a nonprofit, we try to do something good, and then inevitably there's some small little token that comes back to us that we didn't see coming. I mean, it's interesting, right? Noah didn't say, send out this dove, say, go find me an olive branch. No, he does. It finds an olive branch because something's starting to grow. Listen carefully here, folks, out there. And we're not aware of it. We didn't even necessarily think about it. We didn't plan it. We didn't get a strategic plan around it. It just happened. All of a sudden, something comes back. And it's always fun going out and doing community service activities, because on the ride back from those things, people often will share those little surprises. And that's the God of surprises. And you think, folks, about that connection again with peace. Well, of course that brings us peace, because it gives us just this feeling of being settled, that there's a bigger picture and that we're okay. So, it's a final sort of tie in here today. It was interesting this morning being out on my morning walk and just seeing the beautiful, beautiful golden sunlight. I mean, it was beautiful out today. Not only just the angle or the clouds or whatever, but there's these things just where my friend George Graham, had said, like, as a photographer, you try to look for the golden hour, and that's sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the evening, sometimes both. And it's just where everything lights up with this golden hue to it. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And it's fleeting, right? We see it, we experience it. We can sort of be like this morning, I was sort of surprised by it because it was so beautiful, colors everything. And then I know that it goes, and I know that I'll see it again, but not the rest of the morning. I think that's sort of what this is like, right? We try to do these little things And then they come back to us in ways we never anticipated. These small little bits, just like the golden hour. It's like, wow, that's really beautiful. And I think a part of that, folks, and it's why I think like our minds, like our deepest psyches know this, allow that to bring you some peace. Like there's gotta surprises, because I think as we age, I think as we, when we die, and we're angels in training on this side, angels on the other, that the golden hour just expands, right? Goes from just being those 10 minutes on a Wednesday morning to eventually, I think that becomes our whole life. Our whole life becomes this beautiful golden hour. I certainly have seen that before in my life. I've seen people who appear to be in that place. Not many, but definitely have experienced a few. And maybe that's what we can do today. Is just today, just allow yourself to be surprised. Look around, try to see life through the lens of a golden hour. See what those little surprises are, and notice when they come back to you. Notice what it brings back to you. Those little things we just didn't anticipate, and then breathe and find peace there. I think there's a real simple spiritual message we can take forward today. So I hope that makes sense, dear friends. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little meditation, a little prayer, a little blessing. And then when that's all done, we'll say hello to folks on social media. So with that, friends, let's get a little breath. And the bell. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, friends, let's take a look at social media again. I hope you're all doing well here. And let me flip on to that here real quickly. All right, sorry, it takes me just a couple of seconds here. All right, here we go. All right, let's take a look at our commentary here. Handful of comments here today. Linda writes, good morning. Good morning to you, Linda. And yes, and good morning to Tina. Sherry writes, surprise often equals wonder. Have a wonderful day. And it's one of those things, actually, I've been thinking a lot about over this. It's funny how different spiritual words kind of pop at different times of our life. And just wonder and awe has been one I've been thinking a fair amount about recently. And Marcus writes, good morning. So good morning to you as well, Marcus. So let's take a little flip here over to my particular Facebook page. Come on, Nelly. Let's see if anybody's have some comments over there. All righty. See, we have there. Remember comments there. So let's take a look there. Maria, good morning to you, and I hope you're doing well. Carl writes, blessings to you and all. Allow ourselves to be surprised. Yes, namaste. Very true. Paige, good morning to you, my friend. Sue writes, good morning and thank you for this reminder, Chuck. No problem. It's a kind of a fun one, actually. Teresa, my Pittsburgh buddy, good to see you and hope you're doing well. Lynn, good morning to you. Great to have you joining us. And Melissa writes, good morning. Thank you. Surprises are a nice reminder God is with us. Isn't it interesting, Melissa? By the way, happy birthday. Isn't it interesting, right? That we hold that, right? That yeah, we think certainty is the nice reminder of God, or knowing all things is the nice reminder of God, but maybe surprises are the best reminder of God. Kind of, yeah, I'll have to think about that and work that into a sermon, a sermon somewhere. All right, friends, listen, God bless. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. Be surprised. Bye-bye.